So, we're here at Soul Align today and wanted to show you a wonderful hamstring stretch that also opens the hip flexor. And each of us have two straps. One is completely unlooped and the other one is looped with a nice long circle for your leg. And so a good starting point to see, some people feel this, some people don't, but if you bring your right leg out and left foot in, bring your hands on either side of your right leg and then lift your hips up and back so your torso faces your extended leg. And as you inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, draw the sit bones back as you fold. And so just notice how this feels. Maybe some of you, sometimes I see a lot of people can only come here, but wherever you are, make sure your spine is nice and long. Yeah, and just notice how far you can go with a long spine. Maybe it's staying back here, maybe it's coming further down. Let's just switch sides. So bring the left leg out, right foot in. You're going to bring your hands on either side of your extended leg, and again, lift your sit bones, draw them back as you turn towards your extended leg. And then inhale, nice long spine. Exhale, draw the sit bones back as you reach your chest towards your foot. Again, you might stay really upright, hands might be behind you. Wherever you are, just make sure you're not rounding through the spine. You have a nice long spine. Good. And just again, remember how far you can go with a nice long spine, and also how this feels for your comfort level. And now for the hamstring stretch. So you're gonna start with your loop strap, and you're gonna place it around your left foot. That's right. Okay, and then you're gonna hold it with both hands so it's nice and open. And then you're gonna take your right foot and draw it in so the knee comes in, the foot comes in, up and over. You'll hold it so that the loop is resting on your right hip flexor. And then you can let that go. And you take the open strap, the unlooped strap, and you place it around your right foot. You'll hold both ends of the open strap with your left hand, and then you're going to hold the loop into that right hip flexor as you begin to lay down and lift your right leg up. Lay down as you hold this into your hip flexor and lift your right leg up. Good. Now I'm going to come around and adjust so you can let go of your right hand now. And then let your leg rest onto my shoulder. Good. And I'm going to just adjust your strap if that's okay. Okay, so I want to get this strap really nice and deep into the hip flexor. She has it there pretty well already. And then I'm going to just tighten this loop a little bit so it really pulls the femur head, the leg bone, the top of the leg bone, down and away from the hip socket. So I still can feel a little bit of give, so I'm going to pull a little bit more to tighten the strap. How does that feel?
That's good.
Okay, good. Now from here, you're going to inhale, point your toes, and get a nice stretch to the top of the foot and shin. And then as you exhale, draw the toes down, lift the heel. Good. And then again, inhale, point the foot, get a nice stretch along the top of the leg. And then exhale, draw the toes down, heel up. Good, a few more rounds like that. And as you exhale and you flex downward, really think of the heel lifting up to lift that leg bone away from the hip socket. A couple more rounds. Now, does it feel okay to stay flexed here? Can I give you an adjustment? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the back of the heel, not on the joint of the ankle, but on the heel, as well as the front of the shin. And I'm going to really bend into my knees, press into my feet so that I can lift using my body weight. See, my arms stay with my body as my body lifts. Up, up, up. And then this is really making space in the hip flexor. So now we can think of arching the heel up and over. Now I begin to, as I get closer, I move my hand so it's holding the heel. My leg hugs into the outer right thigh. And then again, my hand comes onto the shin as I lift up. And then again, I arch up and over. Rather than cranking the foot towards the face, we want to arch, make real spaciousness here. Good. And you might notice you can go a little deeper than you normally can because we've made space in the hip flexor.
Wow, yeah.
So I like to inhale, I lift, and then as you exhale, I arch. All right, and then let's release. We'll remove the straps. And let's come back to that starting point again. So if you can come to a seat, you'll draw your right leg. Well, yeah, I'll mirror you guys. She's doing her right leg, I'm doing my left, so you can mirror me. Hands to either side of your extended leg. Inhale, lift the sit bones. Move towards your extended leg, long spine, and then as you exhale, draw the sit bones back as you hinge. Keeping a long spine, again, if that means staying up here, that's fine. And just notice again how this feels compared to when we started. Maybe notice if you go a little deeper, how does this feel for you?
The back side of my leg feels much more open, and this hip doesn't feel like I'm crunching into it.
Yeah.
You know, it feels like there was space created in my hip.
Great. Yeah.
So it gives more room to leverage down almost.